Yo, bunch of I probably shouldn't say the F word. So, fuck. It is your boy. I'm going through a midlife crisis right now. You know, just a few days back I was called something else. Now I'm a fucking edgy boy, like it was always meant to be. But anyway, enough about me. This is about you. You and your wrong opinions and my right ones. Who it is after me after all? Avatar: The Last Airbender. You guys ever watch it? I bet you did. And I bet you loved it. Well, did I love it? Let's start with Season 1. Or Book 1, depends on whatever you want to call it. So, Avatar details the tale of Aang, an immature little prick who just so happens to be the Avatar, the master of all elements. Everyone else, you fucking disgraces, you can only learn one, you stupid pricks. And the thing with Aang is that he was supposed to have become the Avatar long ago, but he ran away, scared, and put himself in a big block of ice and hibernated for around 100 years. In the meantime, a war has broken out and the Fire Nation attacked. It's destroying everything around them.
Needless to say, the motherfucker feels kind of bad for leaving them hanging with their dick in their hands.
And now that he has been woken up by Sokka and Katara, it's his duty to unfuck everything. Nice concept, right? Seems like it's gonna be a phenomenal series the whole way through.
No, it doesn't. It seems like it's just gonna be some fucking kiddie shit.
And that's what Book 1 is. I don't like Book 1. The animation is subpar. Inconsistent is more like. The editing is pretty subpar as well, with some things either starting too late or ending too soon. I don't like how it goes for the first 20 episodes. Hippity hoppity, I really don't. But that's not even my biggest fault with it. It's just stories that are told in Season 1 and the episodic nature of it, which I am not against. Cowboy Bebop is one of my favorite things ever, and so is JoJo. But here, I don't know, I didn't feel I was watching The Spectacular Spider-Man. I felt I was watching Jonathan Test. Yeah, that's not good. But everything about this first season is awful. But a few things are. I can think of at least 4 really bad episodes. 4, 9, 10, 11. I don't even remember what 4 and 9 are. I just jotted it down saying these 2 episodes are the suck, and I just went. Episode 10 and 11 though? Oh! That's the big bad. 10 is with Jet. You know, and it's somewhat commendable what they try to do with it. They grab that character who has been really afflicted by the war, and they show he too can be a prick. You know, it's alright. War doesn't just destroy what is around you, but destroys you as well. It's great. The character, it's everything about it's so one-dimensional it hurts, and I can say that for the whole fucking season. But that's not even the worst offense. The real offense here is episode 11. One of the worst things I've ever fucking seen. What is episode 11 about? Imagine 2 races, in this case tribes, but I'll explain the allegory as well. Imagine 2 races hating each other for a fuck ton of time. And the reason is that one says, the guy from my tribe was going to do something good, but the guy from your tribe stopped it. While the other tribe says, a guy from my tribe was going to do something good, but your guy fucked me up. Fucked us up. You get what I mean. And not only is that a really immature way to try to summarize prejudice, it is fixed by Aang saying, oh, I was there when that happened. It's just a story of 2 kids. All of that is a lie. It was a lie. I guess I can just live happily ever after now. It's so easy. It seems so easy. Did this make sense to you? I think not. But anyway, I needed to stop here to talk about the positives. As far as characters go, Katara's alright. And Aang is not even alright, actually. I was going to talk about positives, but let's talk about Aang for a minute. They try to do something with him about how he feels really bad for running away and letting the Fire Nation run wild and attack. But they just kind of drop it. It was somewhat disappointing. It was the most interesting thing about his character, which does get somewhat brought up in one of the later seasons. I don't remember which. But for the most part, it's kind of ignored. He gets through it just like that. And some time down the line, he just goes, oh my god, I do feel bad. When I said this was kiddie shit, this is what I meant. The creators try to do a lot, but then... Do they try, though? Like, actually? I mean, they try. But now, back to positives, and these are the big ones. 2 characters. Okay, 3. Sokka, he's great. He's, of the main trio, he's the best one. He's funny. He does get better with the next 2 seasons. More interesting, more compelling, sure.
The way they play with his insecurities is also great.
But even here, he's cool, he's funny, he's somewhat interesting. Alright. But the 2 highlights here are Zuko and Naru by far. Zuko is the edgy boy we've seen a million times, but they do enough interesting shit with him that you feel it's new. What got him to the place he is now, what he's trying to do to get out of the place he is now, what he can or cannot win by getting out... What he can or cannot win by getting out of the place he is now. That's all great. And the way they explore that, even better. 100% compelling. The main reason I didn't just drop the series. The second main reason is his uncle Aro, who's just there to drink tea, talk about shit, and help Zuko. He doesn't need to do much, he's just the moral support for Zuko. These 2, the way they work off of one another, is what made Avatar so great. But yeah, overall, I'm not that big a fan of the first book, season, whatever. But it did a good enough job that I felt like I should continue. You know, push it to the limit. Keep forward. Keep forward. Am I drunk? That's much better. Jesus. I don't know what to give it. 5 plus, 6 minus. Anyway, moving on to season 2. This does put a smile on my face. I legitimately love season 2. Pretty much everything about it. The new characters added to the roster. Toph and Azula. Yes, Azula does. She really just becomes one of my favorites in season 3, but the fucking circus
Freak.
friend of Zula, that one was great too. Great. Jail. May was all right, I guess. But Toph was great. Sure, it's the sarcastic character every team must have, but I don't see anything wrong with that if you keep it funny. Sokka got even better, as I said before. No point getting into it. It's not like something changed, just more of him. Aang, he improved a bit too, as well, I guess. Yeah, it was alright here. Not that something changed, but it was taken better advantage of. The humor and the tone of the show were built around him much better. Overall, everything got better. Like the editing, the animation, there were some pretty cool fights here. But again, the best part was fucking Zuko and Iroh. Woo! Even though I'm not obsessed with Avatar, I do think Zuko might be one of my favorite characters ever. What they did with Zuko here is what you'd call... What they did with Zuko here is what you'd call a natural follow-up to what was happening in season 1, book 1, whatever. You think it was conflicted. It's using your influence. And it progressively gets more interesting. The strings are being tightened to the point where at the end, you actually feel bad for him for what happens. Katara also had her moments, I guess. As for episodes, there were quite a few phenomenal ones here. I absolutely love the library one. With the fucking owl beast. Appa just gets fucking... Oh yeah, there's a bison, a flying bison called Appa. And by the way, there's also a fucking weird flying lemur called Momo. At the end of the library episode, Appa gets fucking Appa-napped. And then there's an episode only dedicated to him finding his way back to Aang. And sure, it seems like an ad for PETA. It's manipulative as fuck, but goddamn, it was actually pretty well done. There's also the episode a bit before where they meet Toph. Again, that was also pretty great. Later, but still before, when they protecting the wall of Ba Sing Se, it's also great when they're exploring Ba Sing Se and seeing a lot of weird shit going on. Again, it's pretty great. Even then, none of those compared to the highlight of the season, Tales of Ba Sing Se. An episode made up of many mini stories detailing what the characters are just fucking around with. It was absolutely great, and it really went to show that Zuko can still get the pussy. But not as much as Sokka. God damn it, that guy's a fucking beast. First he... But okay, I should probably wrap up season 2 right now. I absolutely loved it, as far as I'm concerned. 9 plus. Season 3, book 3, whatever. I no longer know if this is a subconscious running gag or just me. But I didn't quite like it as much as season 2. Many say, "Oh man, this is where the series becomes a fucking masterpiece. It's flawless. The season is flawless." I don't know. It starts off incredibly strong. Not that long after where season 2 ended, and there's this weird, mysterious but dangerous, still funny vibe to it as they're infiltrating the Fire Nation and learning more about their culture and all that before they finally go attack. And meanwhile, Zuko's just living his life feeling conflicted as fuck for having joined the Fire Nation. Yeah, that's what happened at the end of season 2. He made the wrong choice and joined the Fire Nation and put his uncle in jail, and he feels really fucking bad about it. And you know, from the beginning of the season till the point when they attack the Fire Nation, till after that when Zuko leaves the Fire Nation and tries to join them, and actually does join them, it's great. The episodic nature of the beginning half as they're exploring the nation works extremely well, just as it did in season 2. But after that, the few episodes after Zuko joins and before they reattempt to attack the Fire Nation, not that great, really. There are those that have become memes of going on a life-changing journey with Zuko. You want to come to terms with your mother's death? Join Zuko. You want to finally learn firebending? Join Zuko. You want to fucking die or be in prison? Join Zuko. I'm making it sound way more interesting than it actually is. But there was one good episode between the two marks I said. Zuko joining, attacking Fire Nation. And that's when the gang goes to see a theater play about their journey. And it is great. Makes no sense. How do the actors, the writer I guess, know of their journey, how they actually went through that shit, but who cares? It was great. It was funny. They make fun of themselves. They made fun of the Great Divide, you know, the worst episode in the entirety of the show. I like that. And after that, when they go re-attack the Fire Nation, when that starts, gets really great again. I guess it got really great with the recap episode. It's intense. It tries to go for emotion in pretty satisfactory ways for the most part. But as great as some of its parts are, it's not like the entirety of the climax is that great. The side of it where Zuko fights Azula and we learn more about her thoughts, all that, it's quite beautiful actually. And it's what made her my second or third favorite character of Avatar. Jesus. Since recording this, my opinion has changed. Yeah, she's my favorite now. I really did love her character thanks to that. She's layered just as much as Zuko, maybe even more. I quite love that. The fight, the animation on the fight was great. The way she was defeated was great. The way she dealt with her defeat was even greater. So yeah, good shit. But on Aang's side, fighting against the Fire Lord, first of all, Fire Lord Ozai is kind of a shitty villain. He's barely used. And I don't mean used as in shown. He doesn't need to be shown that much in the beginning. Final Fantasy VII, the original, you barely see Sephiroth during the first 10 hours. It's only after that. And he's still as intimidating as he needed to be for when he actually becomes prominent.
The problem with Ozai is that when
you finally start seeing a lot of him, there's no presence there. And that was the first fault with him. The second, and probably the biggest, Aang doesn't want to kill him. He's an air nomad. He says, all life is precious. I agree with him. Okay, no killing. And they do try to humanize Fire Lord Ozai so we can more easily agree with that. It's done pretty horribly, actually. I mean, not that horribly. What is shown is great, but it's just one thing. The situation where, I think it's Katara, brings a painting of baby Zuko and they say, oh my god, it's so cute, look at baby Zuko. And then Zuko's like, that's my dad. Simple, but gets the job done. I liked it. But it's the one thing that is done. That's the second offense. He's not compelling. Third offense. Back to Aang's conflict. It's basically solved for him. He meets a big ass turtle that just gives him the power to chakra bend out of nowhere. And that's how he defeats the Fire Lord. He just takes off his powers, can't use fire magic anymore. Boo-hoo. The thing with Sokka and the Koichi bitch, I forgot her name. That part was great. Zuko and Katara versus Azula was phenomenal, as I said. Aang versus Fire Lord Ozai was kinda shitty. Really shitty. Still, it didn't end that bad. Things connected really well, so I can't complain too much. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give this season 8-. Yeah, I don't know. One of the two. One or the other. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Avatar Michael Fassbender. I hope you dig them. If you didn't dig them, grab a fucking shovel. It's overrated. It's not a masterpiece. It's not a flawless piece of work. But goddamn, what it does really right, it does really right, and I'm so glad I watched it. Do I recommend it?
Yes! Yes! Leaves from the vine, falling so slow, like fragile tiny shells, drifting in the foam. Little soldier boy comes marching home. Brave soldier boy comes marching home.